Welcome to the Books Bible Study. Here we are in Exodus chapter 30, verse 1 reads, You shall make an altar to burn incense on. You shall make it of acacia wood. Verse 2, A cubit shall be its length, and a cubit its width. It shall be square, and 2 cubits shall be its height. Its horn shall be of one piece with it. So this smaller altar is a foot and a half by a foot and a half and about 3 feet tall. Verse 3 says, And you shall overlay its top, its sides all around, and its horns with pure gold, and you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. So very, very similar to the altar that is outside for the burnt offering. Verse 4, 2 gold rings you shall make for it under the molding on both its sides. You shall place them on its 2 sides, and they will be holders for the poles with which to bear it. Verse 5, You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. So this is another piece to go in the holy place along with the table for the showbread and the lamp and its utensils. Verse 6, And you shall put it before the veil that is before the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. Verse 7, Aaron shall burn on it sweet incense every morning when he tends the lamps. He shall burn incense on it. Verse 8, And when Aaron lights the lamps at twilight, he shall burn incense on it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. Verse 9, You shall not offer strange incense on it, or a burnt offering, or a grain offering, nor shall you pour a drink offering on it. So this altar has a specific purpose, right? It was specifically for incense. And strange fire is anything that you burned on it that God did not tell you to, no matter how good of an idea you thought it was. If it was anything other than what God said, it was called strange fire. And we'll see why this is very important as we go throughout the Bible. Verse 10, And Aaron shall make atonement upon his horns once a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once a year he shall make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy to the Lord. So once a year he is to take the blood from the sacrifice on the altar outside, right, and bring it into the holy place to burn it on the altar of incense. Verse 11, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, verse 12, When you take the census of the children of Israel for their number, then every man shall give a ransom for himself to the Lord. When you number them, that there shall be no plague among them when you number them. Verse 13, This is what everyone among those who are numbered shall give: half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs. The half shekel shall be an offering to the Lord. So half a shekel would be about 5 to 7 grams of silver, which for them was about 2 to 3 days work, right? So just to give you an estimate of what that would be, what that amount would look like to them. And remember, Abraham paid 400 shekels for a piece of land. So that lets us know that he was not poor, right? So if only 5 to 7 grams, half a shekel is 5 to 7 grams, which was 2 or 3 days work for them. You can imagine what 400 shekels would be, right? Verse 14 says, Everyone included among those who are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering to the Lord. So everybody 20 and over gave this half shekel to the tabernacle, right? Verse 15 says, The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel when you give an offering to the Lord to make atonement for yourself. So I wonder why the poor wasn't allowed to give less or the rich allowed to give more, because there's no difference in economical status when it came to giving this particular offering. Verse 16 says, And you shall take the atonement money of the children of Israel and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of meeting, that it may be a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord to make atonement for yourselves. My personal opinion, I don't know if we're going to cover this in the coming chapters, but I believe that that offering being equal might have something to do with no one being able to say that they are worth more or less according to like their status financially, because they all put in equal amounts, right? So I think it might have something to do with that. We'll see if they give us an answer for why the poor and the rich paid the same amount. Okay. Verse 17 says, And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, verse 18, You shall also make a laver of bronze, with its base also of bronze for washing. You shall put it between the tabernacle of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water in it. Verse 19, For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet in water from it. So the laver was a large basin or sink, specifically for washing, cleansing, part of the consecration process, right? Verse 20, When they go into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister, to burn an offering made by fire to the Lord, they shall wash with water, lest they die. Verse 21, So they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his descendants throughout their generation. So nothing unclean about them, physically or spiritually, would be accepted, or they would die. This is why they went through all this process of consecration and sanctification, right? Verse 22, Moreover, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, verse 23, Also take for yourself quality spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much sweet-smelling cinnamon, 250 shekels, 250 shekels of sweet-smelling cane, verse 24, 500 shekels of cassia, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, and a hin of olive oil. So these amounts, placed in today's prices, would have cost, according to how easily it was for them to get that, or how hard it was, it will cost anywhere from $600,000 to maybe $750,000 for all of this, right? To make this all with these specific ingredients was not cheap. And so the amount of spices and oil, all of this together, would be about 47 pounds in weight. So this was a big deal. It was costly. It was expensive, right? Verse 25 says, And you shall make from these a holy anointing oil, a ointment compound according to the art of the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. Verse 26, With it you shall anoint the tabernacle of meeting and the ark of the testimony. Verse 27, The table and all of its utensils, the lampstand and its utensils, and the altar of incense. Verse 28, The altar of burnt offering with all its utensils, and the laver and its base. Verse 29, You shall consecrate them, that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them must be holy. Verse 30, And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister to me as priests. Verse 31, And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, This shall be an holy anointing oil to me throughout your generations. Verse 32, It shall not be poured on man's flesh, nor shall you make any other like it according to its composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Verse 33, Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an outsider, shall be cut off from his people. Verse 34, And the Lord said to Moses, Take sweet spices, stacte, and onycha, and galbanum, and pure frankincense with these sweet spices. There shall be equal amounts of each. Verse 35, You shall make of these an incense, a compound according to the art of the perfumer, salted, pure, and holy. Verse 36, And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of meeting, where I will meet you. It shall be most holy to you. Verse 37, But as for the incense which you shall make, you shall not make any for yourselves according to its composition. It shall be to you holy for the Lord. Verse 38, Whoever makes any like it to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people. God is very specific about what is being used in the tabernacle, what is being used for sacrifices, right? Everything was to be holy, was to be anointed, was to be set apart, right, for his use. So the commandments in this chapter was to offer incense daily, right? Wash your hands and feet before every service. Prepare the anointing oil and anoint the priests. Give half a shekel yearly, every person 20 years and older. Do not offer unauthorized incense. It's called strange fire, right? Do not make sacred anointing oil for personal use, and do not make incense like the sacred formula for personal use as well. So we're seeing all of the process, all of the consecration and sanctification and anointing that is happening for them to use in the tabernacle, with the things they are to do daily, how they're to set it up, how they're to wash, they're to clean, right? All of this is very important for them to follow these instructions or they will die, right? That's it. You either obey or you die. Thank God for Jesus, right? So that concludes Exodus chapter 30. Stay tuned with us for Exodus chapter 31. So we'll only have 9 more chapters after that, and we will be on to Leviticus. God bless.